Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, made a memorable return to Wimbledon on June 30th, her first time in the royal box since 1998 when she attended with Princess Diana. Fergie joined her daughter Princess Beatrice to watch the men's singles match between Carlos Alcaraz and Fabio Fognini.
In a sudden and highly controlled move, Sarah Ferguson has quietly relocated into a newly renovated annex on Princess Beatrice's Cotswolds estate. Fresh stonework, new utilities, a private living space prepared in advance. This wasn't a last-minute refuge, it was a deliberate repositioning. The former Duchess of York hasn't fled the UK, she hasn't disappeared to Portugal. Instead, she's done the exact opposite. Just weeks ago, reports claimed Sarah's relationships with both daughters had fractured, with insiders suggesting she was preparing to leave Britain altogether and retreat to Princess Eugenie's luxury villa in Portugal. That plan is now off the table. The bags were never packed. The exit never happened. Instead, Sarah has placed herself back inside the royal orbit, physically, geographically, and symbolically, at a moment when scrutiny around Prince Andrew and the Epstein fallout is reaching another peak. Moving on to Beatrice's estate keeps her close to the family, shielded from direct media access and under far tighter control than a foreign escape ever would have allowed. And that's where the real story begins. Because this isn't just a change of address, it's a strategic shift. To understand why Sarah reversed course so abruptly, we need to look at the one relationship that has defined her post-divorce life: Prince Andrew.
Sarah Ferguson's relationship with her daughters Princess Beatrice and Eugenie has collapsed, according to one royal expert. The three of them were referred to by the nickname Tripod, underlining just how tight-knit the trio were. But that bond has been fractured by Sarah and her ex-husband Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's links to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
After months of speculation and reports suggesting that Sarah Ferguson was preparing to flee the UK for a fresh start in Portugal, the former Duchess of York has made an unexpected move that has shocked both royal watchers and the public. Not long ago, it was reported that Sarah's relationship with her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, had collapsed, according to royal experts. Tensions between them were believed to have reached a breaking point, especially with the fallout from Sarah's association with Prince Andrew and the continuing scandal surrounding his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. It seemed as though Sarah was ready to leave the UK entirely, distancing herself from the royal family and possibly seeking solace in her daughter Eugenie's luxury villa in Portugal. But instead, Sarah has taken a surprising U-turn. Rather than packing her bags for a quiet retreat abroad, she's now living in a fully renovated annex at Princess Beatrice's Cotswolds estate. This sudden shift is so strategically timed, it raises one glaring question. Why the dramatic change of heart? What has caused Sarah to stay in the UK and move in with Beatrice, especially after reports of a strained relationship between them? To understand this decision, we need to first look at Sarah's complicated history with Prince Andrew. Their divorce in 1996 was one of the most publicized royal splits in history. Yet, despite no longer being married, the pair maintained an almost inseparable bond, continuing to live together at Royal Lodge in Windsor for years after their separation. Their unorthodox arrangement, where they both occupied the same residence, baffled the public and made headlines for years.
Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson remain unusually close, living together at Royal Lodge despite divorcing in 1996 and facing public scrutiny. Their bond has endured through scandal, title loss, and shifting royal dynamics.
This enduring relationship, one that defied the typical norms of a royal divorce, seemed to be a product of both mutual respect and the convenient proximity of their royal duties. But in recent years, as scandals continued to plague Andrew, especially following his connection to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, their closeness has begun to unravel. The cracks in their arrangement became glaringly evident when Andrew was stripped of his royal patronages and military titles. The disgraced prince, already a pariah within the royal family, found himself in a position where his financial and social status was all but decimated. It was clear that the days of shared dinners and cozy moments at Royal Lodge were over. Yet, Sarah remained a fixture in Andrew's life. After all, she had been publicly loyal to him for decades, defending him against the most serious allegations. But with his status stripped, even the pair's close bond couldn't shield them from the fallout.
Prince Andrew, Prince William, not going well, no. As I told you recently, Sarah Ferguson, doesn't want to now leave his side. Andrew doesn't want her to leave his side, and they're pushing ahead for the future.
Fast forward to a few weeks ago, and reports had surfaced that Sarah was preparing to relocate to Portugal. Princess Eugenie had reportedly prepared a private room for her mother in a plush villa, offering ocean views, privacy, and, presumably, a break from the intense media scrutiny in the UK. It seemed like the perfect escape, until things took a dramatic turn. Instead of taking her daughter's offer, Sarah made a surprising U-turn, opting to stay closer to the royal fold by moving into Beatrice's renovated annex in the Cotswolds. The choice to remain in the UK so close to the Windsor family speaks volumes. It's no longer just about a fresh start in a sunny European villa. It's about something far more complicated. The publicized move to Beatrice's estate is a clear indication that Sarah isn't ready to leave the royal family just yet. Why would she choose to stay in Britain, where she has no royal status and a significantly reduced role in the family's public life? And why now, when things seem to be at their lowest point? In the midst of it all, Princess Beatrice's involvement adds another layer of intrigue. The renovation of the annex is extensive. New stonework, fresh paint, and even propane gas deliveries suggest someone is preparing to move in, and that someone, according to insiders, is Sarah Ferguson. This strategic move appears to be a response to the mounting chaos surrounding her. Living under her daughter's roof places Sarah back in the royal spotlight, but more importantly, it gives her a foothold within the family dynamics, a place where she can quietly remain close to the royals. It's not just about finding a roof over her head. This move is about proximity. Proximity to Beatrice, proximity to the royal circle, and proximity to the media storm she's been trying to avoid. But why Beatrice? Out of all the royal children, Beatrice has always been the more private and reserved of the two sisters. Eugenie, with her more public persona, had seemed the natural choice for Sarah's relocation, but it appears that Beatrice's offer was more than just a temporary solution. This could be a turning point in Sarah's relationship with the royal family. Moving into her daughter's annex places Sarah in a position where she will inevitably be at the heart of the ongoing drama. But there's more to this decision than meets the eye. Sarah's recent decision to stay close to the royal fold raises another question. Is she being sheltered from further media scrutiny? Many insiders believe Sarah is not merely taking up residence in the annex as a form of comfort. Rather, she is being strategically placed there, not just by Beatrice, but perhaps by the royal family itself. Could this be an attempt to contain the fallout from the Epstein scandal and Sarah's alleged involvement in it?
Now, Angela, you've written a great piece to the Daily Telegraph about how Andrew's daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, now have one option: to voluntarily renounce their royal titles. You write, quote, "Foregoing the titles is an act of renewal, a gesture that signals integrity and public accountability. It would be seen as a mature, front-footed, family soldiering act that shows self-awareness and respect for both the King and William's preference for a smaller royal family."
Sources suggest that Sarah may be negotiating a deal with American broadcasters for a tell-all interview. After all, without a title, no royal duties, and no standing in the public eye, what else does she have to lose? A tell-all interview would allow her to set the record straight, to share her side of the story, and to regain some semblance of public relevance. But at what cost? And what would this mean for the royal family if Sarah truly decides to take the spotlight again? As we continue to watch the drama unfold, it's clear that Sarah Ferguson's life is far from a peaceful retirement. Instead, it's a life in constant flux between loyalty, scandal, and the quest for relevance. Moving into Beatrice's annex might just be the first step in a larger game that we can't yet fully comprehend. One thing is certain: the saga of Sarah Ferguson is far from over, and this latest chapter is sure to bring even more twists and turns. So, the question remains: is Sarah Ferguson truly trying to stay out of the limelight, or is this move a calculated step to position herself for a much bigger return to the royal fold and the world stage? Only time will tell. In the aftermath of Prince Andrew's disgrace and the ongoing fallout from his connection to Jeffrey Epstein, Sarah Ferguson has found herself caught in the crossfire of a scandal that refuses to die. The once unbreakable bond between Sarah and Andrew, despite their divorce in 1996, had become a source of constant public fascination. Even after their split, they continued to live together at Royal Lodge, sharing a home and, at times, seeming inseparable. But as Andrew's ties to Epstein came under intense scrutiny, it became clear that Sarah was never far behind, remaining steadfast in her loyalty to him.
Now, Angela, you've written a great piece for the Daily Telegraph about how Andrew's daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, now have one option: to voluntarily renounce their royal titles. You write, quote, "Foregoing the titles is an act of renewal, a gesture that signals integrity and public accountability. It would be seen as a mature, front-footed, family soldiering act that shows self-awareness and respect for both the King and William's preference for a smaller royal family."
Reports of Sarah's close association with Epstein have further complicated her reputation. Despite publicly cutting ties with Epstein after his 2008 conviction, Sarah continued to be linked to the disgraced financier for years. There were even sightings of her leaving one of Epstein's Manhattan apartments as late as 2014, long after his criminal past was widely known. This revelation painted a disturbing picture. Sarah was not as disconnected from Epstein as she had led the public to believe. The consequences of these ties would soon become unavoidable, and the pressure was mounting on Sarah to distance herself from the scandal, especially as the media circus surrounding Andrew's own legal issues intensified. But even as the Epstein scandal loomed large, the connection between Sarah and Andrew remained steadfast. He had been stripped of his royal titles, patronages, and public duties, yet Sarah never fully walked away from him. Their relationship had always defied traditional norms, with their ongoing cohabitation at Royal Lodge serving as a testament to their deep, if complicated, connection. Despite Andrew's fall from grace, Sarah's devotion to him never wavered, and the two remained an inseparable duo. This enduring partnership, one that confused both the public and royal insiders, allowed Sarah to remain within the royal orbit, even as her own identity as Duchess of York slipped further into the past. However, the reality of Andrew's downfall and Sarah's own involvement in the Epstein scandal left her in a precarious position. As the royal family distanced itself from both her and Andrew, Sarah found herself at a crossroads.
Now, disturbing new details have emerged about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, of course formerly known as Prince Andrew, and of course Sarah Ferguson's bizarre final days in the Royal Lodge. Can you talk to us about how the Duke and Duchess of York, or former Duke and Duchess of York, I should say.
It takes a minute to get used to that.
It does, doesn't it? How are they coping with this new reality?
The loss of her title and her standing within the family was devastating for Sarah, whose identity had long been tied to her role as the Duchess of York. Reports suggest that she struggled with this loss, often relying on staff at Royal Lodge for emotional support as she turned to alcohol to cope with her feelings of abandonment and isolation. Despite the deepening crisis surrounding her, Sarah made a surprising decision. She chose to go back to her daughter, Princess Beatrice. This was a stark shift from the earlier reports suggesting she would leave for Portugal and live with Eugenie. Beatrice, known for her quieter and more private life, seemed an unlikely refuge for Sarah.
Sarah had managed to stay out of the controversy surrounding Andrew and the late paedophile. Correspondence between her and Epstein from 2011 have shown she referred to him as a supreme friend. She has said she wrote the email as she feared potential threats against her family, but now the Daily Mail's royal editor, Rebecca English, writes that a friend of the family revealed the princesses are reportedly even more disappointed in their mother than their father now.
Yet, in the face of mounting pressure and scandal, Beatrice's estate in the Cotswolds offered Sarah a way to stay within the royal fold while also distancing herself from the public glare. It raised questions about why Sarah, once so steadfast in her loyalty to Andrew, would now turn to Beatrice for sanctuary. Could this be an attempt to re-establish a more public connection with the royal family? Or is this move a sign of something deeper, the unraveling of a long-standing relationship that had defined Sarah's life for decades? As Sarah settles into Beatrice's renovated annex, it's clear that this is a new chapter, one that may offer a fresh start, but also presents new challenges for the former Duchess. With Beatrice now at the center of this new living arrangement, the dynamic between mother and daughter and the wider royal family is sure to be tested in the coming months. As Sarah Ferguson finds herself living under Princess Beatrice's roof, the fallout from her ties to Epstein and Andrew's disgrace continues to shape her future. With new alliances forming and old ones unraveling, the next chapter in Sarah's royal saga is bound to be just as turbulent. Stay tuned.